From a tomboy who wore sneakers to a Miss India in high heels. From an ordinary girl who's camera shy to a model who is the focal point of a camera's eye. From reading about the likes of ace designers like Manish Malhotra, Neeta Lulla, and Sabyasachi, to having the first-hand opportunity to work with them within the same proximity. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Surbhi Sachdev, and this is my journey to Miss India Worldwide. But as exciting and as glamorous as this all sounds, the road to believing in myself, achieving my dreams, and most importantly, learning how to ignite inner confidence within myself wasn't as easy as it sounds. I'm standing here today to give you a glimpse into my journey, with the hope that my story helps to ignite a spark of confidence within you. I'd like you to raise your hand if you've ever created a life plan for yourself, only to have it come completely crashing down on you. Anyone? And how many of you have resorted to blaming yourself when this exact thing happens? Well, I'd like to call this the self-defeatist phase. And this was a phase that I encountered in my life very closely prior to my journey. You see, like many of you here, I too had created a life plan for myself, but very naively attached my happiness, my dreams, my sense of confidence to it. It was like being on a constant emotional roller coaster. The days that my life plan went well, I felt overjoyed and over the moon. And the days that my life plan did not go so well, I felt utterly disappointed. And for whatever the reason may have been at that time, because life loves to surprise us, my life plan did not end up working out for me. I felt myself going on this downward spiral of negative emotions, and I found myself asking questions such as, why me? Why did this happen to me? It was not a pleasant place to be in. Fast forward to a couple of months of me being in this phase, I remember my sister, who I like to call my guardian angel, came into my room one day with a newspaper that had this giant ad on it, and she tells me, enough is enough. You know, there's something you need to do to get out of this phase. And at that time, I just looked at her strangely, and I was trying to read this advertisement on the newspaper. And all it said was, Miss India UAE auditions at the Grand Hyatt Dera from 6 to 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, 1 week from that day. And she tells me, you need to apply for this. I remember looking at her and feeling a set of 3 very strong emotions at that time: confusion, amusement, and fear. Confusion because I found myself asking questions such as, why me? Why would a panel of judges looking for the next Miss India select someone like me? Amusement because I was far from the definition of a Miss India. I'm talking a girl that has never worn makeup, a girl that does not know how to walk in heels, and a girl whose definition of an impressive outfit was jeans, t-shirt, and sneakers. And lastly, fear. You see, the self-defeatist phase had created a sense of fear within me. A fear of the unknown, a fear of entering a field that I had zero experience in, a fear of failing yet again. And as I was trying to explain these emotions to my sister, I remember she just asked me one question at that time. How do you know if you're going to succeed or fail if you've never even tried? And that's the day that I felt something change inside me. I felt a tiny spark inside me, and I found myself changing my question of why me to why not. What have I got to lose? And that's the day I realized something very important. It's not the fact that life has knocked you down. It happens to the best of us and at unexpected times. What matters is the length of time that you choose to remain down. So the next time you find yourself in a situation like that, especially you students back there, whether it's that one internship that you've been working really hard towards but you don't end up getting, or maybe you've been spending months preparing for this job interview but on the day you mess it up, it's not the fact that life has knocked you down. What matters is for you to visualize the length of time that you choose to remain down, because this is what will help you remain accountable for yourself. And it will help you understand that your failure is not just going to be your failure. Your failure is going to be your springboard for success. And that's the day that I did exactly that. I made my failure my springboard for success by embracing the excitement of uncertainty. And I felt the tiniest spark of confidence light up within inside me. I remember making it to the audition. I wore a dress, I wore some heels. I made it to the audition without breaking a leg, unintended. And the first half of my audition actually went really well. It's where they asked me questions about myself, my passions. I felt pretty confident. The second half of my audition is where things started to get a little shaky. It's where one of the judges asked me the most dreadful question: can you show us a catwalk from point A to point B? And so I did, but not quite. I remember leaving that audition and there was this annoying little inner voice, this inner critic inside my head, asking me questions such as, did you just mess that audition up? Did you just lose out on the greatest opportunity of your life yet again? Now, I'd like to pause the story here because I want you to imagine a world where every negative thing that you say to yourself is broadcasted on loudspeakers. I'm never going to be as good as her. I'm never going to look like that. Broadcasted. I'm such a failure. This is so hard. I'm never going to be good at this. Broadcasted. Now, how many of you would talk to your best friend like that? Raise your hand. Perhaps even a stranger. You know, if you wouldn't talk to your best friend or a stranger like that, when and how did we normalize this internal negative dialogue that we seem to have with ourselves? You see, the self-defeatist me would have left that audition and immediately engaged in a negative conversation with that inner critic. But that day, I decided to do something different. I decided to focus on the positive, on what went well. And that brings me to my next point. In order for us to ignite true inner confidence within ourselves, we must not only embrace positivity, but learn how to quiet that inner critic inside of our head. How do we do this? 2 easy steps. You first recognize those self-defeating thoughts that are coming into your head and stop it in its tracks. And second, replace those self-defeating thoughts with positive affirmations. I can't do this. I'm never going to be good enough. Replace that with, I will educate myself and try until I succeed. Still don't believe me that it can be that easy? Well, here's an email that I received 2 days later after that audition telling me that I was selected to be a part of the Miss India UAE finalists. Not only that, after a month of intensive training, I made it to the top 5 within the regional round, and a few days later, I received the life-changing call that I was going to be a part of the Miss India Worldwide competition from amongst 40 countries from all over the world. My life was about to change, and part 2 of my journey was about to begin. I remember the road to Miss India Worldwide started on the most perfect note that it could have. I had the chance to travel to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I had the chance to interact with 40 talented, wonderful individuals from all over the world. And I received intensive training from the best within the industry. It was perfect. But remember how life loves to surprise us? And our plans don't always go according to plan? Yeah. It was the night before the talent round, one of the biggest nights of the competition. I'm talking a round that counts for 50% of your final score. And I'd been preparing for this round for about a good 6 months. My talent was a contemporary fusion dance. Remember, the organizers had organized this lovely visit for us at the temple the night before. And as I was leaving that temple, I felt a slight pain inside of my leg. I decided to ignore it. Got back on the bus, wanted to go back to the hotel. But as soon as I got to the hotel, I looked down at my right foot and I saw that it had swollen to 4 times the size of my normal foot. And as I was standing there in excruciating pain, I was thinking, is this really happening to me right now? The talent round is tomorrow. I somehow made it to the doctor past midnight, and as I was waiting, for some kind of an explanation, he told me, something seems to have bitten you. It's going to take about 2 to 3 days to recover. You just need bed rest and lots of medication. And I said, no, I don't think you understand. Tomorrow is the biggest night of my life, and I'm supposed to be on stage dancing for about a good 5 minutes. And he told me, no, there is no way that you're getting on that stage tomorrow. See, at that time, I could have done 2 things. I could have accepted defeat and let go of all of this confidence that I had been building for months. Or I could have embraced courage by challenging his limiting belief. And so that's exactly what I did. I told him, no, I don't think you heard me right the first time. You're not only going to wrap my foot up once, but you're going to give it a good rap 3 times and give me the medication that I need, because there is nobody that is going to stop me from getting on that stage tomorrow night. And so that's exactly what I did. Was it one of the hardest experiences of my life? Yes. Was it one of the most painful experiences of my life? Yeah. But was it one of the most worthwhile experiences of my life? Definitely. Because the next day, not only did I make it to top 5 within the Miss India Worldwide competition, but I went on to winning the title from amongst 40 countries all over the world. And you see, that's the funny thing about confidence. Confidence says that you will not give up. It says that things might get hard and really difficult along the way, and I guarantee you it will. But you will try and try until you can succeed. And if there's one significant message that I can leave you with tonight, it is this. There is a fire that exists inside each and every one of us. I urge you to use this fire. Let it spark that confidence within you. Let it lead you to your passions, fuel them up, and make you burn bright. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me on this TEDx platform. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight.